Hi there. Before I start to talk about the 4 books that I'm going to take on holiday to Croatia tomorrow, um, actually, I'm probably not going to read 4. I plan to read more than I achieve. That's partly because these days with teenage children, quite a lot of activities are planned, um, and therefore I lose precious reading time. But anyway, I have 4 books, which I will take with me. But before I do that, I want to just say thank you very much to all of you people who have subscribed to this channel, who watch the videos. I hope they're useful in a rather rambling and lo-fi way. I do my best to pick interesting books and talk about them with a, modicum of intelligence. Someone did tell me offline that I do say extraordinary and profound a lot. And all I can say is I probably do, but then maybe it's because I pick extraordinary, profound books. No, it probably isn't. It's probably because I do this off the cuff and I just can't think of anything else to say. Actually, last year I went through a whole habit of calling almost every book I read a moral act, um, which is even more pretentious. Um, but talking of pretentiousness, I did get a rather interesting comment the other day to one of my Booker reviews, and I just want to read it to you. It is a negative comment, um, but it's a negative comment with such charm that I think it deserves a wider audience. It's from someone called The Way the West Was Won. The guy is a pseudo-intellectual buffoon, a know-it-all know-nothing. I hate his crap reviews. They make me really fucking annoyed, basically. I couldn't agree more sometimes. That's how I feel about myself sometimes. I can only say that I can only defend myself by saying that I have done the reading over the last 4 decades. Um, but yes, pseudo-intellectual buffoon, know it all, know nothing. We live in fear that that is true. It's called imposter syndrome. We do this basically thinking, are we going to be found out as a pseudo-intellectual buffoon, know it all, know nothing? Um, so I'm sure you didn't mean it to amuse me or charm me, but it did. It did, and who knows? You may be right. Okay, the 4 books I'm taking. One I don't have with me because my partner's reading at the moment is the winner of the International Man Booker Prize, which is A Horse Walks into a Bar by David Grossman. So I want to read it for 2 reasons. One is David Grossman wrote one of my favourite books of all time, which is Sea Under Love, which is a extraordinary post-Holocaust novel set in Israel. And if you're interested in post-Holocaust literature, as I am, this is one of the best. But also, I so believed that Matthias Enar's Compass was going to win the International Man Booker. I have to read the winner to understand how that could have happened. Next is, I don't even know how to pronounce the first word, Cybo There Below by Laszlo Krasznahorkai. I didn't know anything about this guy, but I was in a bookshop with my mate Jimmy Tooks, and he recommended it based on a recommendation he got from Jacques Testard, who's the publisher of Fitzcarraldo Editions, who are, I think, at the moment, the best literary publishers in the world. So from Jacques through to Jimmy, down to me, and now to you, hopefully a difficult literary novelist may sell some more books. Harry Kunzru says the intensity of his commitment to the art of fiction is indisputable, exhilarating, even euphoric. And he was the winner of the Man Booker International a couple of years ago. So yeah, that's that. I've just started reading this. This is Essayism by Brian Dillon. This is part of the Fitzcarraldo Editions non-fiction line. It's not blue, it's cream. This is essentially a set of essays about essays, and I'm this far in, and it just makes me covet this man's humour, elegance, wit, style. The first couple of pages is literally the most beautiful list of essay subjects covered. On the death of a moth, humiliation, the Hoover Dam and how to write, an inventory of objects on the author's desk, an account of wearing spectacles, what another learned about himself the day he fell unconscious from his horse, of noses, of cannibals, of method, diverse meanings of the word lumber, many vignettes published over decades in which the writer or her elegant stand-in described her condition of dislocation in the city, and did so blithely that no one guessed it was all true, a dissertation on a roast pig, a heap of language, a tour of monuments, a magazine article that in tone and structure so nearly resembles its object, or conceals it, that flummoxed readers depart in droves, a sentence you could whisper into the ear of a dying man, an essay upon essays, on the author's brief and oblique friendship with the great jazz singer, a treatise on melancholy, also on everything else, a species of drift or dissolve, at the levels of logic and language that time and again requires the reader to page back in wonder. How did we get from there to here? I mean, it's just beautiful. And I love that time and again requires the reader to page back in wonder. I'm only this far, but it's just brilliant. And then finally, Omen Setter's Luck by William H. Gass, recommended to me by 7 Days at Sea, a booktuber, after I did a booktube video on books about religion and God. So this is probably first up as I hit the islands off Croatia. Anyway, thank you very much for listening, and thank you all again. And the Booker long list comes out mid-holiday, so I will do a sun-soaked video then. But I can't imagine I will have read many of them. Bye bye.